Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilman Luca.
Here.
Councilwoman Mesa.
Here.
Councilman Halco.
Here.
Councilman Camilleri.
Here.
Council President Conti.
Here.
The mayor is not here this evening. She's attending a function in the county where Jack Lonsdyke's being honored by the Bergen County Historical Society.
Please rise, salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be standing. A moment of silence for Rose McLaughlin, a former woman, and the victims of the bombing in Boston. Yes. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all council members on May 3rd, 2013, and to all legal newspapers in accordance with the provision of the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975.
The public is hereby advised that any statements made during a meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook may not be privileged or protected, and that persons or entities who have taken issue with such comments or are offended by same may and have in the past sought legal redress through the courts. Any member of the public who addresses the council speaks for themselves and not for the council.
Okay, before I open it up to the public, we have some proclamations to give out. Mr. Samluca, would you like to do that, please?
Actually, what I'd like to do is call Fire Chief Robert Myers and Captain Harry Reed from the Volunteer Ambulance Corps up to the front. The reason that we're calling these gentlemen up here is because, as you know, every year Halloween we have, or for most years we've had the Field of Horrors. Now, it's technically a town event. We have a lot of input from our citizens, but really it is run by a group of volunteers, a core group of volunteers, the heart and soul of that organization. I am going to, unfortunately, they were at a funeral this evening and they can't be here. But what they asked when this started was if we could give the money, if we could earmark the money, so to speak, to certain organizations. And what they asked was to, based on the take, which came out to just a little over $4,000. What they asked is if we could donate $1,000 to the Volunteer Ambulance Corps and $1,000 to each of the three firehouses. So we have Hook and Ladder, Engine 1 and Engine 2, and we have the check right here. So on behalf of the mayor and council, I would like to give this check for $1,000 from the township to Captain Reed, to the Volunteer Ambulance Corps. Thank you for everything that you and your members have done for us. And Chief Myers, we have 3 checks, one for Hook and Ladder, one for Engine 1, and one for Engine 2, each for $1,000. And again, thanks for all your service.
Thanks very much.
And lastly, before we go back to the regular meeting, unfortunately, as I said, they could not be here, but the core group of the volunteers, the heart and soul of that Field of Horrors, we have proclamations for them. Let's see if I can read it. Certificate of appreciations to all of them, and they are Joy Ebel, Ed Ebel, Marilyn Nasello, Joe Nasello, Jessica Pilata, Carol Pilata, and Sean Miller, and they do an amazing amount of work before this thing is put together, putting it together, running it, and then obviously the breakdown and storage. So we thank these people, because without them we wouldn't have this money, and many, many people in the town and the surrounding neighborhoods would not be able to enjoy 2, 3, sometimes 4 nights of fun. So again, thanks to all these people, and we'll be giving these out when we see them. Thank you very much.
Okay, need a motion to open up to the public.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to the public.
Okay, Mr. Halco, second by Mr. Camilleri. All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is now open up to the public. Anyone like to be heard?
Larry, the Township 92.1. I'd just like to make some comments on the meeting that was held the other night about the redevelopment on Caldwell. It seems to me that the attorney does not want to conflict himself out of this project, or whatever you want to call it. Mr. Chakowski's been involved with 3 different...
I'm
No, you can't say nothing.
I am
You can't say
going to
nothing.
interrupt you
No,
for
you're
1
not going to
second.
interrupt me.
Yes, I
This
am.
guy interrupts me all the time. What does he say?
Mr. Ratajczyk,
I'm please going to advise you.
please, just one second.
No, you're not going to advise me anything.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not. No, you're not. When you speak, you speak.
You've been told there's no conflict.
Listen to me.
You are going to
Say
hear
your
from our
part.
attorney, and this is your warning.
I'm just
That
asking
if you
you.
place,
I'm
if
asking
you
you.
place this on the public position, you will be
I'm going to
publicating.
ask you questions.
Going to advise you.
Please, just one second.
No, you're not going to advise me anything.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not. You've been told there's no conflict. Listen to me. You are going to hear from our attorney. This is your warning. I'm just asking you. I'm asking you. Place this on the public position. You will be public. I'm going to ask you questions now. I'm going to ask you questions. Why not? You're not going to answer them?
You got your answers the other day.
No,
You got
no,
your
I did
answers 2
not.
weeks
No, I
ago.
did not. No, I did not.
Go ahead.
Why did we
Do
wait
what
2.5
you gotta
hours
do.
for him? Tell me, Council
You've
President.
been warned.
Why did we wait 2.5 hours for him to come into the room? Why couldn't Mr. Mill?
Oh, Mr. Chakowski,
Because-
I
It's a
guess
sub-
you had a...
Because he's your
another-
township attorney and I'm not. I'm filling in because he had an
Well,
emergency tonight.
you're filling in tonight,
sorry.
and you filled in the other night you were here.
Yes, that's right.
So why couldn't you handle it? Why would you inconvenience the council and the residents to wait 2.5 hours for
You
that?
got your answer. And I'm advising you.
No, I didn't get my answer.
Well, he
I
put it
didn't.
on the record.
It's the answer that you want to give me.
Do what you gotta
That you
do.
wanna- It's the
Put it out.
answer that
If
you
you
want to
pub-
give
you
me.
publish.
It's the answer.
If you publish this, you are warned
Publish what?
the defamatory statements that
It's
you're-
not a
Go ahead.
defamatory statement. I'm
Go ahead.
asking you a question.
Go ahead.
I'm
not
asking
answering.
Mr.
Okay, fine.
Mosek,
I put my statement on the
did
record.
his firm ever represent Mr.
I'm not
Obel?
answering your questions.
I'm asking a question to the
I'm
attorney.
not answering. Make your statement.
You're not answering questions?
I'm not
I'll
answering.
ask the questions. If you want to answer them later, you answer them. Yes or no? I guess he doesn't want to cooperate.
You've been advised.
It's
as
not,
to
you're
the
not
position.
advising me anything. This is my public right, my
You can make
First
any
Amendment to come
statement
up
you
here and
want.
speak.
Go ahead, make your
I'm
statement.
asking you a
Okay.
question. I'm asking you a question.
You're not gonna
There's a
get any
difference
answers.
between a statement and a question.
This
Well,
is not a dialogue. This is for your public comment and your statement for the public. This is not.
So then you
putting-
shouldn't speak at all then.
I'm not going
You
to.
shouldn't
You've
speak
been
at all.
warned.
You
can do what
shouldn't
want.
speak at all.
You can do what you want.
Right. You shouldn't speak at all.
Do what you want.
You shouldn't speak at all.
Okay, Larry, please. Want to ask, please?
That, I thought it was very unfair to make the town and the people wait 2.5 hours for an attorney to come here. You either postpone the meeting or use a different attorney. Not wait for an attorney. And keep they're like, we're being held hostage here, waiting for this attorney. Mr. Halco had some comments last week that he's tired of the people coming up here and saying this is wrong, that's wrong, and everything. You made a comment about your health benefits,
Absolutely.
correct? No, through the chair, to Mr. Halco. You made a comment about your health benefits. You have that in the health insurance, right? That's what I heard you say.
Oh, I'm just going to say, and I have to say this, you don't have to answer it, you can answer it, you
I
don't
made
have to
my
answer it.
comments.
Okay.
I said what I
It's up
said
to
last
you.
meeting, and it's out there.
I'm just,
Okay, the only thing Mr. Halco forgot to tell us is when he did campaign to run for the election, you weren't gonna take your health benefits or your salary. You didn't take your health benefits. You did take your salary. So I was asking you, if you're gonna go in your wallet and show me the Aetna card, go in your wallet and take the checks out that you took from us and give them back to us. And then we can end this once and for all. Then you'll have peace of mind, I'll have peace of mind then. If you wanna show the card, show the checks and give them back, like Mr. Simaluka presented checks tonight. Or don't bring it up again.
I'm not the
You
one
bring
bringing it up. You bring it up.
You bring it up, you did. You want me to show you.
All right, Mr.
Your,
Ratajczyk.
thing.
That's right, you're,
Right.
whatever
Okay.
you say.
As far as the Mayhill project is concerned, I asked, and I didn't get an answer from the engineer, if I can ask him through the chair, are we gonna do soil samples?
Actually, today, I finally got an answer with that. They're willing to go forward. The question tonight, I was gonna ask the council. I think it's in our best interest. We will take it upon ourselves to hire somebody to do the borings, and I will physically take these samples to a certified
At the
lab.
township's expense?
Absolutely not. They have escrow monies up.
They will, okay,
Yes.
all right, that's like I say. And the other issue is to deal with the creek there. The way it's, rocked up like that. We're asking for trouble. Like I said, it's either gotta be piped, if we're gonna take liability for it, or it's gotta be pitched the right way.
I wanted to talk about that later on
Okay,
in
well,
a comment,
you can-
because I was over there
Did we
today.
ever find out if a permit was pulled for the fence?
Fence is gone.
I know the fence is down, but did anybody ever apply for a permit?
I didn't look into it, Larry.
Last comment was from the construction code official, that a letter was sent
I believe there was no.
about the fence, and it was removed.
It was removed. I don't believe there was a permit issued
I'll double
from my
check tomorrow.
recollection.
There was no permit. I spoke to the owner. There's no permit.
But there was a new fence put up.
There was a new fence and he took it down when he was
No,
advised to take it
between
down.
the properties. That long fence that goes from Market Street all the way back to Mayhill.
Well, that one I don't know.
That was just put, that's the fence I was talking about, and they put the continuation there. I wasn't talking about the fence behind Golden Pub.
That's what I
Talking
thought.
about
I'm
the
sorry,
fence
I
with
no,
was
no.
misunderstanding mine.
If it's for the new development,
Yes.
well, that was, obviously that was approved, and they do have a
Well,
building
why
permit.
didn't we know that when someone just put the little L shape on it?
No, you said,
That was no big
you were
secret.
talking about the small fence.
Yeah, it was a continuation of the other fence.
No, that was not
Well,
the same
that's the fence I
owner.
was talking about, the one between the two buildings. They asked who put that fence up, and nobody knew.
Well, it's, no.
No, I thought it was behind the Golden Pub.
Right,
It
the
was a
small
little
Continuation.
piece.
They ran the fence down, they put an L shape on it.
Yeah, I didn't know about the L
Put it
shape.
over by the Golden Pub. It's the same fence, it was the same fence. So whoever put that new fence up, the length of the parking lot.
As far as
put
the
that
fence
little-
on Market Street, that gentleman came in for an approval, got an approval from the township,
Right,
developed the property, and part of the approval, the resolution of approval, was to call for a fence
That's
between the
fine. So then
Golden
we
Pump and
should've
there.
known. It should have been no secret who put that other piece of the fence
But that
up.
has nothing to do with the fence you were referring to, the
It's the
small
same fence.
8-foot.
It's the same fence.
It wasn't done at the same
It
time.
wasn't done at the same time, Mr. Ratajczyk.
Stosh put it up himself to continue. He did it. Wasn't the original
The
fence.
Golden Pub put it up there.
Correct. And when he was
And he
advised
took it
that it
down.
was wrong, he took it down.
Okay. The other thing, like I said, the mayor's not here tonight, and she's talking about on Mayhill Street with this, it's a big kept secret of who's coming in there, and that the two buildings are gonna be connected together. I asked her after the meeting last week, does she have any signed contracts, or does she have any, what is making us, or what's pushing us to take over that road? If it's just word of mouth, I don't think that we should really, what are we moving forward for? Let her come in, produce, or let the developer come in, make a presentation to the council and say, look, this is what I plan on doing, I'd like to go forward with the road. We're gonna take the road over, and he's gonna do nothing. I told you, when you're ever gonna do something with the developer, it's up front. We always get burned. The traffic light on Caldwell should have been put up first. It didn't get put up first, he gave him a CO, and we never got a traffic light there. We wound up paying for it, now we're chasing him. Don't let it happen over here. Same thing with Mayhill in the developments agreement. We were supposed to ask what we were gonna get from him. When we did, if we did take over that road, is he willing to give turf field, make a donation to the town or whatever? Got dropped off the radar screen. I mean, last Tuesday or whatever night that was, I heard like 7 things projects that we have going that we had no answers for. We're not finished with Market Street, the fire signals aren't working. Is this company that's doing this job the first time they ever put fire signals up? I know Mr. Costa said a month ago, we were waiting for transformers or something, or circuit breakers.
Correct.
Where are they coming from?
circuit breakers are in, the inspection was this afternoon, and now there will be a cut-in card issued, so the.
When we got into this contract with this developer, or this contract, did we have a due date or a finish date?
Absolutely. Larry, if I can stop you short. Public Service refused to give power to that location. That went on for 3 months. Public Service, electric and gas. And I stated this earlier, I'll state it again tonight. They have now, I met with them, we cleared up the problem. I was with the police chief and the deputy police chief. That problem was resolved. The breakers are in, the inspection was done, it's ready for a cutting
I hope so,
card.
because I think that stuff should be all ironed out first before we start construction, legal part.
Larry, this might come as a surprise, but I don't run Public Service,
No, I
electric
know
and
that, but
gas.
I mean,
I don't.
do you make contact with them prior?
If you didn't think that I did, how do you think this work got done? How do you think the utility
Well,
poles
I
got
mean, why would
moved?
they give you a 3-month delay?
And quite frankly, that project was languishing for 8 years under the prior engineer. I took it up in a year and a half, built, finished, except for that one point. And if you don't think that's good enough, then
Like I
quite
said, I'm
frankly,
just asking. It just seems to be a
quite
long
frankly,
time.
excuse me,
That
quite
just
frankly,
seems to be a long time.
I think that the township, by doing what we did, the lights are up and the road is a lot safer. And some of the signs are gone, and now there's arrows in the center. And if you can't figure out to make a left, I want to put on the record tonight, go to Dairy Queen tonight, make a left, the stripes are out, you can move in there. So, if there's any complaints, send them to me, because actually I was with the county this afternoon for a walkthrough, and this is what the county said to me. If the town is not happy with the roadway, put your comments in writing, because the county is ready, willing, and able to repave down the center and make it a 4-lane highway. If that's what this community wants, that's what they will do.
I'm not
So
saying
just,
anything about that. I'm
just keep
saying
that in
when it's gonna be
mind.
complete.
That's what they're ready to do.
I mean, even to your point with the pavers, they did the pavers, last week we ripped them all out. I mean, do you let the guy do 1 or 2 intersections and then stop, or if he's doing it wrong, or if something's wrong, or he did the whole project, then we had to go back and do
Larry,
something
this is,
wrong?
I don't want to cut you short, but the last question, time went up, 10 minutes. I know you guys are arguing, but.
Larry, if you can find fault with that project,
I know you did.
please,
I know
if you
did.
can find fault with that project,
No, I'm not
please
saying-
go out there, go. And put your comments in writing and send them to my firm.
The only thing, like I said.
Because
that I
you,
like-
honestly, from what it was to what it is, you are so, I formally disrespect with what you're saying. You are so wrong on that.
I mean, Mr. Simaluka even had a question last week.
Well, I disagree. I think Market Street, for what we were given and what it is today, quite frankly, you now have a semblance of a downtown and a downtown community and a business area. And if you don't like it, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what you're looking at.
That's just a normal road, like on the park house. You should have followed the
All right,
traffic pattern
thank you.
from there.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next, who'd like to be heard? Seeing none, I need a motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Camilleri, second by Mr. Halco. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, I need a motion to open to public hearing for the budget.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Simaluka,
Second.
by Mr. Halco. All in favor? Aye. The meeting is now open to the public on the budget. And I need a motion to close.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Ms. Mazur, second by Mr. Camilleri. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have ordinance 1545-13, an ordinance of the Township of Southbrook accepting the street known as the Mayhill Street Extension. It's been tabled to this meeting.
I'll make a motion, we continue it to the next meeting.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Second. Motion by Mr. Halco, second by Mr. Camilleri. Roll call, please.
Councilman Simaluka?
No.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
We have ordinance 1548-13, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 48:4-15-14 for second reading.
I think we should talk about this real quick. Mr. Demery, would you like to answer what we're doing with the cap bank? How it works, so.
The ordinance that you're going to adopt tonight is the appropriation cap bank. The levy cap bank is an automatic, there's no action required on the governing body's part, but with that. You're significantly under the appropriations cap. Once the levy cap calculation came into effect, municipalities pretty much stopped having a problem with the levy cap. This ordinance preserves that amount as a bank for the next 2 subsequent years. If you do, you can apply that to an amount that you're over. I really don't think you're going to need that, because to utilize that, your levy cap would be over. So it's just a procedure. It doesn't, there's no harm to it. We've always done it. Let's put the cap in place, let it expire, by statute in 2 years.
Okay,
Just in case.
Thank you.
Just a question to Frank. I know we go over this every year. This is a common occurrence. It's always done.
Once a year, everybody does it.
Okay, thank you.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Halco, second by Ms. Mazur. Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
An ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a bank cap bank. Public hearing.
I'll make
I need a motion.
Motion open to the public.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes. This is open to the public. Anyone like to be heard?
Motion to close?
Seeing none.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Samaluka, second by Mr. Halco. Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook that the ordinance entitled, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank does now pass on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Samaluka, second by Mr. Halco. Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
This is it. I don't talk about it right now. That's closed.
Minutes, right, what,
Ordinance 1549-13, final reading, an ordinance authorizing the lease of real property known as Block 408, Lot 7, 8, and 9 on the official tax map of the Township of Southbrook for second reading.
I need a motion. Motion. Motion by Mr. Samaluka.
Second.
Second by Mr. Camilleri.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing the lease of real property known as Block 408, Lots 7, 8, and 9 on the official tax map of the Township of Southbrook for public hearing.
Make a motion.
Need a motion.
Public.
Second.
Second by Ms. Mazur. Roll call.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes. This is open to the public. That's the lease on the Cardwell.
Motion to
Seeing
close.
none, I need a motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Halco, second by Ms. Mazur.
Councilman Samaluka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazur?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
Be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Southbrook that the ordinance entitled, an ordinance authorizing the lease of real property known as Block 408, Lots 7, 8, and 9 of the official tax map of the Township of Southbrook does now pass on second and final reading, and that the Township Clerk be directed to advertise said ordinance or title thereof in the press, together with the notice of the date of passage of said ordinance according to law.
Motion to approve?
Second, I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Halco. Roll call.
Councilman Samuka.
Yes, just a comment on that. There was some talk about how many units, and the lease itself defines the amount of units that they're allowed to build, and that would be 30. So it'll be 30, 62, is it 55 and over?
Senior.
Senior, 55 and over. And it's low income, and there is a provision in there that, being that we own the property and it's a lease, we control it. So in terms of them changing it, they can't do that unless they get the approval of the council. And I don't expect them to ask that it be changed, and I would hope that whichever council makeup is here at that time, it could be, it's a 50-year lease. 50 years from now, we'll do what's in the best interest of the township, but at least while we're here, I'm sure that, we've spoken about it. This is going to be senior low-income housing, or lower-income housing, and it's not going to change to anything else. So the fear mongers have said it's going to be a methadone clinic, it's going to be a home for displaced people. It's senior housing, and that's what the lease says. They can't change it. We control it. And I will vote yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halpern?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
All items listed with an asterisk are considered routine and non-controversial by the Township Council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or member so requests it, in which case the item or items will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The one motion signifies adoption of all resolutions, receive and file letters, correspondence, reports, and approval of minutes and applications with the exceptions that are noted that are not part of the consent agenda.
Okay, for me, April 17th meeting. Okay, we'll take the vote first. I need a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor, right? All in favor?
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halka?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Oh, I would have to abstain. I'm going to have to abstain on April 17th and April 22nd meeting.
Okay, we have the minutes of the April 17th, 2013 special public meeting. Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Councilman Samuka?
Abstain, I was not here.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halka?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President
I
Conti?
would have to abstain.
And we have the April 22nd, 2013 special public meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Motion. Second, need a second?
Second.
Right, Mr. Camilleri. Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halka?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
I'll abstain.
Then we have Resolution 16, payment of bills.
I'll make a motion. We pay the bill.
Second.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Abstain.
Councilman Halka?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
I would have to abstain. No. Yes.
We have approved payment of bills, resolution number 17.
I'll make a motion. We pay that bill, those bills.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Samuka?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halka?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes.
Resolution number 23. Payment of certain bills.
Need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Samuka. Need a second
I'll second it.
by Mr. Halpern.
Councilman Samuka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halka?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Abstain.
And then we have application, public place license, renewal.
I need a motion. I need a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Camilleri. Second. I need a second. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Mazer.
Councilman Samuka?
This is on Focaccia?
Yes.
Abstain, I represent one of the partners.
Councilwoman Mazer?
Yes.
Councilman Halco?
Yes.
Councilman Camilleri?
Yes.
Council President Conti?
Yes. Okay. That's it, okay. Did we do the vending machine?
Yeah, it was all part of that.
I thought that wasn't part of it.
Okay, place license.
Right, right. Reports we did, right? Old business? Wait for reports. Okay, any old business?
Yeah?
Yes.
I think it was last month, maybe a couple of months ago, a young lady came by and expressed concern over the intersection of Oak and Wilson, that there was a bad accident there, and what I said during that meeting was, if people could come forward and advise us if there's any other intersections or areas in town that they thought was maybe a danger, to let us know, and we'd pass it along to the police. Since then, I personally was contacted, I don't know if anybody else was, but I was personally contacted on two areas. One was on Nettalik, between John Ox and I guess the turn on Nettalik when it makes that right angle turn. And the other area was where Bell intersects with Kuhn, which in that particular area, there seems to be 3 different directions of travel which converge, and there's absolutely no traffic control device there. On a Sunday, we all know that that area, due to attendance at church, gets really crowded and parking on all sides of the road. So, Pete, we've passed that on to the police chief and the police department, and what the procedure is that they will look into it, maybe do some tallies on maybe accidents, or possibly go there and look at what's happening there, and then report back to us. So once again, if anybody to the public, you can contact Pete. If you don't know any of us personally, contact Mr. Ladico and give your opinion as to a place that you may want the police to look into as a potential dangerous condition on any of the roadways in Saddlebrook.
Any other old comments?
Business.
Or, I'm sorry, old business, I'm sorry. I do have one. May Hill Extension. Okay. Where the stream is, I mean, you cleaned it out, it's working fine. The rocks, the way they are set up. Is there anything we can do to fence it, to put something over the top? Because it could be a liability. I was over there today. And, you know, you got 10-year-old, 12-year-old kids on bicycles, you know, they're all over the place. God forbid somebody falls in that stream, and it was pretty full. Trips on a rock, somebody gets hurt, falls into that stream, it could be a liability. Is there something that we could do over there? I mean, since we have maybe somebody else.
I mean, again, what you could do is pipe, you'd have to get a permit, obviously. You could try to pipe the whole stream.
Okay.
Ditch, I call it a drainage ditch, I wouldn't call it a stream at this point. Again, that was there prior to us doing anything there.
Mhm.
All we did was remove, there was a tremendous amount of debris in there, there was asphalt, I guess when they repaved the parking lot, was pushed in there, was broken up, and then shopping carts. I mean, it was completely inundated with sediment and garbage, that the piping network didn't work. So that's what we
Yeah, I
we
know,
did.
I see it, it's flowing, like I said, it's
I mean,
flowing
I
fine.
guess
but-
you could fence it in. The problem is, if you fence it in and someone falls inside,
Right.
now is it more of an impediment to try to get out of where you just got into?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
Um,
You know, because to me, it's kind of wide open. And, you know, you got young adult, you know, young children that bicycles or whatever, riding over there, and who knows? Can get hurt, fall in.
I mean, I guess we could look into putting up a fence, but it seems like the fence is a bigger problem than what it's worth, isn't it?
What about a netting? What about I don't even know. I mean, netting over the top, I don't know what that's gonna do either.
I mean, a small fence, I guess a 3-foot fence, something small to keep, we could certainly do that.
A question to the engineer. That's the town's property?
It is not.
It's not the town's property, so it's the building owner.
But what happens if you take it over, we take over the Mayhill Extension? Does
Is
it-
that
See-
part of that?
See, that's the interesting point. The Mayhill extension looks like it's just between the two curbs.
Okay.
And you're not taking the actual right-of-way, which is not typical, but if that's what's happening, it's gonna remain private property.
I was
I
gonna
mean-
say, that's, to me, I was over there this evening, it looked like private property
It's,
outside
Now-
the roadbed.
if
That's
the,
Muscarell's property. That side of the roadway is Muscarell, the other side would be Condor.
right, but I think if, again, it picks up drainage from Market Street. It picks up drainage from, obviously, the various buildings that are in there. It picks up drainage that runs across, that would be the new road.
Why don't we ask the property owners if they would consensually put up some fencing?
But I think at some point,
That's-
the town would probably need a drainage easement in there, or they would have an easement, just a prescriptive easement, because these facilities exist, that we would have the right to go in and clean it out because it affects other facilities. So I think if push comes to shove, you can certainly request it, you could probably do whatever you want, because you'd probably have a prescriptive easement there, if you don't have a formal easement.
Well, it's not gonna be, can you get around the fencing to maintain
Well,
the
that's,
ditch?
you could. I mean, can you, if you have to get a machine in there? It's gotta be small enough where you could at least maintain this in the future.
Yeah, I would suggest you try to
Okay.
write a letter.
I don't think it would be,
It's not a big cost, is it?
No.
What it would,
no.
how long of a fence are we talking about?
It's probably 75 feet by 2, maybe 150 feet in total. It's minimal cost.
Why don't we find out?
Okay.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Rich, you're looking to have that drainage ditch circled in a fence, or just a fence to,
Well-
I mean,
You know, go look, did you look at that? Did you look at
yeah,
it?
I know what's
Okay.
there.
You don't think that's a liability? You don't think,
No,
I
I
mean,
think
I was over there today just looking, I was looking at the curb, I was
The
looking.
lake in the park is a liability too.
Well,
I
see,
mean,
this is the only thing.
Yeah, but
If-
but
if-
there's not rocks like that in the, in the lake. You follow what I'm saying?
But there's water in the lake.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, you fall, you land on a rock, and then you fall into the
Yeah,
water.
but it's not our property.
Okay. Well, then,
I mean,
yes, Muscarelli then is the liability then.
well, that's for him to worry about. I mean, we
Okay.
can't, I mean, there has to be a line between what government could do and can't do. I mean, we just can't go onto people's property and say, all right, you're gonna, you know, I mean, that's not the right thing to do, I don't think. I mean, that's
No,
my
you can't-
opinion.
You can't force them to do
No.
it, but you might.
You could ask
do
them,
it.
but yeah.
Well, I'm not forcing anybody, I'm just bringing it up as a concern. Are we liable for that? What, you know, I mean,
I don't think from a legal standpoint, I don't think we would be, but if you're concerned about members of the public and their safety, then I think it should be expressed to the property owners, and maybe they'll do it.
I have to bring it up.
Okay.
And sometimes be careful what you wish for, because then every stream and every drain on every piece of private property, is it our job to go there and to fence in every drainage ditch that's on other people's property? It's,
Because, I mean, I could think of a few, and I'm not gonna do that, because that are properties in the area that the drainage ditch is similar to that. I mean,
Yeah, but this is brought up as a new,
all right.
this has been brought up time and time this last 2 months. So it's something new that we're, maybe taking over. So.
Well,
if
we're not
take-
taking that over.
Well,
That's-
we don't know that down the road. It has to comply. And,
Well, again, I mean, under soil erosion, riprap is certainly it stabilizes a slope. It's in the manual. What is done out there certainly meets that standard.
Okay.
This is nothing extra, not ordinary that we didn't do there. It's customary, it's an engineering practice, it's in the Bergen County Soil Conservation and the Department of Agriculture spec book. So I don't think we did something that raises the bar that there's some sort of condition that exists there that we're being put on notice for. If we're being put on notice for something, I don't want to play attorney, but then I think you would definitely could have lose your Title 59 immunity. I don't see that in this case. I mean, I don't see any imminent danger that exists there.
I don't either.
And again, this isn't the only drainage that you have in the community or throughout the county. But certainly I'll look at it. I'll go back. If they're willing to put a small fence up, I don't think it's a huge cost. And if they say no, then I'll bring it back to the council. They said no.
Because if you don't encircle it.
What
I
good
mean,
is it?
and if you just put a fence on one side, you could still walk around and fall in the thing, if that's what we're worried about.
Okay. Any other old business?
Yes. I just have a correction to make. Mrs. Otterell, you asked me a question last month, did I get the monies from the Field of Horrors? And the answer is, there was an account, kickball account, the money had been deposited in there, and the kickball account was closed out and turned into the township in February, so, yes.
Any other old business? Any new business?
If I may.
Ms. Mazur?
If I may, Council President, I'm sorry, I thought resolution number 26 was going to be off of the agenda. So if I may, I'd like to read it and comment on it.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Resolution number 26, I asked Pete to prepare. It says, whereas United Water, New Jersey, has filed an application for a 20% rate increase with the Board of Public Utilities, and whereas the Township of Saddlebrook purchases water for its residents and businesses from United Water and would be required to pass any increase to its Saddlebrook customers, and whereas the projected increase, if this rate hike is granted, would be approximately $150 per year for an average residence of 4 persons. And whereas this proposed rate increase comes out after a total increase of 42% granted to United Water since 2008. And whereas this proposed increase will create a hardship on the residents of Saddlebrook. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township Council of this Township of Saddlebrook, that it hereby goes on record opposing United Water's request for a 20% increase in its rates, and strongly recommends that the Board of Public Utilities deny this increase in rates. And be it further resolved that the Township Clerk is hereby directed to send certified copies of the resolution to Governor Christie, the State Board of Public Utilities, Senator Gordon, and Assembly Persons Wagner and Eustace. In addition to this, I'd just like to make a comment also. While I appreciate the people representing United Water did come to our work session on Tuesday evening and try to explain their reasoning for this increase, I personally find it insulting, unreasonable, that they're asking for this, for any increase, to be honest with you. Our township is just getting out of, we're just recovering from the previous increases. And I find that in result of the storm, Hurricane Sandy, by their own admission, they did not occur any problems with their utility plans. Well, our township residents have, and I totally oppose any increase. Thank you.
Any comment on this? No? I need a motion. I agree.
We already had
It was,
Okay.
they all
I thought
voted in
this was-
favor for it, too.
Good job.
Right. No problem. Thanks.
Okay. Any other new business? No? No other new business?
Well, Mayor usually comes in and says what activities there's gonna be. Pete, do you have a list of things, or
Not yet.
in terms of parade and fishing contest and the township picnic, the dates at least, so I don't think we're gonna meet before, at least maybe televised meeting, before the township picnic.
Picnic is at the end of the month, June.
End of June?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was the first weekend of June. All right, then we'll have more information for you on the,
And traditionally, I don't think it changed, Memorial Day parade is the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, that's usually at 1:30. Services begin at 9 o'clock, usually at the various monuments. I don't have the dates and times, or the times rather, so I'd rather not say it, but in the past, usually starts at 9, and the VFW usually has a service on Memorial Day.
and Anthony, you'll get that on the,
It's already on the TV.
it's already on
It's
TV
ready,
and the website? You talk to Joe about
Yeah, I'll
that?
talk to Joe.
Okay.
That's already out there.
So any other new business? No? Any council comments? Now, let's go to council comments.
Yeah, I would just like to make a comment. From what I said at Tuesday's meeting, I did say I'm getting tired of the same individuals getting up and repeating the same thing over and over again, and no matter what we say or do, it's wrong in their eyes. That's what I said, and that's what I stand by. As far as the benefits, I don't keep bringing it up. The individuals at the podium keep bringing it up, and we have to answer. So that's all I have. Just want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day, happy Mother's Day for all the moms out there. And I'm done.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, grandmothers, and especially my mom. I know you're going to be watching this. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Anybody else? Council comments?
Yeah, I would just like to wish all the moms out there have a happy Mother's Day.
Ditto. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy Mother's Day, happy Memorial Day. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Simulacre, second by